Welcome to the Innovation Squadcast, making a positive difference in learning through innovation. Welcome to the Innovation Squadcast. We are excited for you to join us as we explore how a couple of Berkeley County School District librarians harness innovative tools to foster a culture of creativity and engagement in schools. We're thrilled to be joined by Carrie, Courtney, and Jenn Fisher from Marrington Middle School of the Arts, who will share their insights and strategies for transforming library spaces into dynamic learning hubs. So welcome. We're so glad you guys came.
Thank you.
Oh, well, and I'm Pam Hubler.
I'm Carrie Courtney, the librarian at Marrington Middle.
And I'm Jenn Fisher. I'm the library assistant.
Awesome. All right, Courtney, can you tell me, well, sorry, I'm used to calling last names.
Okay.
All right, Carrie, can you tell us a little bit about your background?
This is my 29th year in education. I was a high school English teacher, and then I taught preschool for a little while before going to middle school. This is my 9th year as a librarian.
That's a big jump.
Yes.
How about you, Jenn?
This is my 3rd year at Marrington Middle. Before that, I just kind of stayed at home with my kids, and we're a military family. So prior to that, I worked at a school. That's kind of what started my love to want to be in a school with my children. So I was the crossing guard at my previous school.
That's awesome.
I was excited. I saw the opportunity in the library, and I'm excited I jumped on because I've learned so much and taught myself so much as well.
Yeah, and you guys are a dynamic duo.
Yes.
It definitely takes a team to be able to do all of the things that we do.
Yeah. All right. Well, that being said, what would you say, just to get started, is the role of technology in shaping modern libraries today?
I just think we have to look beyond the physical books to see, what other opportunities we can offer to students through the library. We introduce students to ebooks and audiobooks through some of the apps in ClassLink, like Sora, Mackin, and it just gives them a variety of choices without the physical limitations of having to have a paper book. And it also supports different learning styles. Some students prefer reading on a paper book. Some prefer reading on a device. I know that even Jenn and I have kind of changed the way we feel about things. We're both a little bit addicted to our Kindles at this point.
Yes. I love my Kindle. I don't have to worry about damaging the book. And it sounds so silly. I'm a big beach goer, so it's easy and I can just close it up and it's compact in my backpack.
That makes sense.
Yes.
Now, the apps that you were talking about, do all teachers have access to that, or is it just in the media?
Nope. All teachers and students have access to Sora and Mackin, where they can check out ebooks and audiobooks.
Do they just log in through ClassLink, or?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it is neat. And I like that it gives reluctant readers an opportunity to possibly have something read to them or to listen and to follow along.
I would say there's been a few times that we maybe don't have the book in the library, and we've had students that go on Sora and get it. And so they can just go ahead and read it right there on their Chromebook, which has been nice because, like I said, if we don't have the book, or even if it's checked out to somebody else, sometimes Sora has it available, and they can just read it right there on their Chromebook.
Nice. Does that have a read aloud feature also, or that's just for the content? Like they could just read it, do you know?
I'm not sure.
I feel like I've seen audio available for them, so it'll read to them. But I don't know if every book has that.
Got it.
But we do have, like I said, I've seen it in audio version, and it's kind of similar to like Libby when you get a book. I don't know if people have used that
From the public library,
and it'll tell you like it's on hold for like 3 other people. Or it'll tell you like your place in the holds.
Got it.
So if a book's not available right away, you kind of just place it on hold, and I think it just lets them know in Destiny or if it's available.
Yeah.
So
we could put some resources in the show notes too.
It's nice for them to have that.
How about some of the tools that you guys use for student projects? I know you do student projects all the time. So what kinds of things do you use?
We work pretty heavily with our 8th grade ELA teachers. Our students at our school do a Genius Hour TED Talk twice a year, once each semester. And so we start out pretty early in August with them the students coming in and basically we initially talked to them about how to find quality resources without bias through some databases and some other platforms that we're able to share with them. We teach them how to conduct research, how to cite sources, how to avoid using misinformation. And all of that is in preparation for them to present their TED Talk project in their class.
That's awesome.
And then another thing we do with that is through Destiny Discover, the students are able to set up their own collections. One of the problems that the teachers had initially is students would find resources and then they wouldn't be able to get back to them because they may not have copied the whole URL or didn't write something down. And so when we teach them how to set up a collection through their Destiny account, they are able to drop all of their resources into their collection, whether it's a video, a PDF, it doesn't matter. Everything gets housed in one place. The student has access to it and the students share it with their teachers. So both can look at their resources at any given time.
Nice.
Yeah.
These are all things that I never use.
Yes.
So it's awesome to hear.
No, it's nice for them to be able to come in because like, we can help them with looking at it or even putting it into their, because like Carrie said, it's like a TED Talk. So they have like slides.
Right.
So when they're presenting. So it's kind of something that we can all easily be able to access and help them with.
So they create Google Slides to do their presentations, or what do they, or does it matter?
Initially, they used Google Slides, and then the teachers had opened it up to where they were able to pull in some different platforms as far as using their presentation,
Right.
as far as what to use during their presentation.
Got it. All right.
Yeah.
All right. And then what about technology training for like students and staff? I know that's one of the things that y'all do to kind of get kids familiar, staff familiar. How do you approach that?
With staff, I usually will try to attend grade level PLCs and even content area PLCs to introduce staff to possibly new platforms that I've learned about. I very often also will just email a particular grade or department and say, hey, here's a possible resource for you. And it just allows me to share more with the teachers without having to have meetings all of the time.
Right.
But if I feel like something needs specific training, then I'll go into a PLC and do that. And then, just during the lessons, it depends on whatever the teachers are wanting to do with the lessons that we collaborate on, as far as what resources we choose to share with the students.
That's nice. They're lucky to have y'all as a resource.
Well, thank you.
Yes.
All right. So then going into some of those specialized tools and platforms, which ones do you think really enhance learning and teaching experience through the library?
What do you want to start with?
Well, are we going to start with Beanstack?
Yeah, let's
okay.
do it.
So Beanstack is something new that we started this year that we had gone on a call probably earlier this year with Dave, and he helps promote Beanstack. And just hearing him talk about it and how passionate he was kind of made us be passionate. And I think we are on our fifth challenge now. So. And every time we do it, it just gets more and more fun and seeing the kids interact. But basically what Beanstack is, it's a way for them to log their reading.
Okay.
And then along the way, to just kind of sum it up, is they earn badges and they have a leaderboard with their friends, and they can only have people within the school, and they get to pick whoever they have as their friend, but there's no chatting or anything like that. It's just all you can see is what your friend has, how many minutes they have read.
Right.
And it's kind of competition. And then Carrie and I also do our own challenges to where we offer them prizes and incentives for reading. A lot of times, even for just completing the challenge, you will get a prize. And then we have, within Beanstack, they have this great little generator that will offer up first, second, and third place for you. So you can pick those as winners.
Oh, nice.
And it's just been really fun to see, especially students on their Chromebooks in the library having Beanstack up. They're logging their minutes. I feel like it has made them really share their books with each other. They're constantly coming in oh, can I put this book on hold? My friend just read it. I want to read it. And just seeing them discuss their books and be excited about reading has been awesome.
Yeah. That's unusual in middle school.
And they can put reviews in Beanstack as well.
Oh,
so
nice.
they're reading each other's reviews and, like Jenn said, coming down and checking out what a friend has read. I love that. Well, what first brought Beanstack to us was some librarians were saying, hey, we've heard about this great program. Can we learn more? So as the middle school lead librarian, I went down the rabbit hole of research. And like Jenn said, we met with the vice president of sales, and we were just really impressed by what it offers students. It's very different from, say, AR, where students are taking tests. Beanstack basically gamifies the reading platform. And there's just so much there. We even have, whenever we run a student challenge, we run a staff challenge as well. And our teachers are kind of cutthroat with each other.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't realize how serious, because the first time when Carrie showed it, her and I were the only ones that were on it at this point. And I happened to have a lot of reading minutes at that point, and everyone was like, Jen's going down. And I was like, oh my gosh. But it was fun, in a fun way to help encourage. It kind of reminds me of Goodreads a little bit.
That's what I was actually thinking, because I love having things on my Goodreads, and it's how I remember things. You could, otherwise you're like, did I read that book? Or what do I want to read? Yes,
that's even what students have said, because, teachers have reading logs, and, or even for them to be like, oh, what was that book that I read?
Right.
They can go back to Beanstack and look at it, and it keeps all their books that they have read,
right,
which is also helpful for them.
Right.
But yeah, it was fun to have faculty also jump onto it. In Beanstack, there is an option to have staff and students be friends, but we kind of have that turned off just so that way
There's not an option for that.
Oh, I thought there was.
Students and staff can't be friends.
Oh, I thought there was. But yeah, so that's also good. So it's separate. So the students are only with themselves, and then faculty is with themselves with.
Can it go outside of the school, like if teachers within the district, or is this like a paid program?
It is a paid subscription. There are 7 schools currently in Berkeley County that are using it.
Okay.
And of those 7, there's elementary, middle, and high.
Right.
And so on the platform, you can actually see where your school ranks against the other schools. And
can
so
kids see that too?
Yes. So
Okay.
one of my neighbors goes to a different middle school, and she saw me outside, a couple weeks back, and she said, oh, you guys are beating us on Beanstack. And I said, yeah, by a lot.
Yeah.
And then when I said, and our school is half the size of yours, that means we're extra beating you. So it's just kind of neat to know that the kids see that, and they're getting excited about that as
fun.
Well.
That's awesome. I love that. And is there a free version also that you can use, or it's just not?
No.
Okay.
It's but there are 3 different levels of the paid version.
Right.
We were given a deal this year to have the premium version.
Okay.
These are some pictures of
we have
our
some pictures
students and
watching.
Staff, and some of the prizes that they've won.
Yeah.
I like it.
No, it's been fun. And it's fun because we post this in Schoology then, so everybody sees it. And it's just been fun for them to see the fun prizes that kids are winning. And it's also fun because we also put the list of students' names sometimes. And if one student misses it, they'll come down like, oh, my friend told me that I won in Beanstack. So it's just fun that they're seeing that to help encourage each other.
And we started Beanstack in October, and we worked with every English class to have students come down and learn how to use the platform. And we had every student read for 10 minutes and log their minutes so they would understand how everything works. And Jenn and I just picked a number and said, let's set up a challenge for the school, for our school to read 500,000 minutes before the end of the year. And we are about to exceed that.
Oh, wow.
So,
and you just started in October? Is that what you said? That's awesome.
So it's pretty amazing. There are integrity settings in Beanstack where students can get flagged for entering a gibberish title or for logging too much time. And I will say, one of the things about having a great partner in the library is Jenn has kind of made Beanstack her thing, and every morning she comes in, she checks to see who's been flagged and why, and whether she's going to address it with said student or push them through. You can verify students, which means you're completely comfortable with a particular student knowing he or she is a big reader and may log more than kind of the norm. And that way they don't get flagged. But Jenn's been great at checking that, running reports, and then, we work together to set up our challenges. Beanstack actually gave us a $100 gift certificate when we hit 100% of students who had logged.
Right.
And so we use that money towards prizes. We also use our Scholastic dollars from book fairs and to buy prizes. And then, we dive into our activity accounts sometimes too.
Yep.
Oh, that's fun.
It has been.
Oh my gosh.
It's been lots of fun.
You guys do a lot of cool things. I also heard that you guys have a masked reader.
Yes.
Can you tell us about that?
Yes, we just did that during Read Across America Week, which was super fun. It was a lot of fun.
Right.
But it's been super fun. We reached out to staff and said, this is what we want to do. This is our plan. We need some masks. And we actually had a student, his mom works at the school too, and he brought in about 5 or 6 masks. I brought in some. We had a teacher that donated 2 for us, and teachers just came down and we asked them to just pick a book in the library and just make sure you kind of show the book and then start reading it.
We've got it. We're showing it on the screen.
So this one is the reveal that we're showing right now.
Oh, okay.
So what I did was I had them read, and then I had them afterwards. I said, okay, now we're going to do your reveal. So I videoed that separate. So that way they didn't have to come back down to me.
Okay.
And so the reason why I was saying the editing, I didn't realize, well, I did, but I didn't. As I was getting teachers coming down, I would, every teacher's video would be like, some would be 5 seconds, some would be 15 seconds.
Right.
It would kind of change my music that I had lined up.
And you did this in Canva, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
So that's where I was like, oh no, I just put in a 15-second video and now it moved all my music, which was fine. It was easy to move. I didn't realize that. And then we had them each give us 3 guesses of hints of who they were. And then we had the teachers, some showed it during, like they picked a class period that they would show it, and then some showed it during homeroom. And then we had a Google form that we had them fill out.
Okay.
And we had each person's name listed and who was, we had a total of 23 staff members come down for it. And then the next week we then showed the reveal where everyone took off their mask saying, it was me. And it was fun because during the week, Carrie and I would be like, hey, did y'all watch the masked reader? And then we would be like, did you guess which one was me? And they're like, wait, you were in the video too? But it was just fun to have the teachers. I feel like for the students to see a different side of their teachers and just faculty throughout the school. And then it also promoted books within our library, which was exciting for them to hear that first sentence. Because that's what we did. It was like the first sentence of every book.
And they used an app to disguise their voice, right?
Yeah. So then I found this app. Now I didn't have to pay for it. It's called, I think, just Villo.
Okay.
My son helped me because he did a project for school.
Oh, okay.
And he was like, Mom, you can use this app. And he had the free version. And there is like 1 or 2 voice changes in the free, but I didn't want everyone to have the same like squeaky voice. So, but it was super easy. It just uploaded it. And then I was able to just email it to myself and input it into Canva.
Okay.
So I definitely learned a lot about it as I did it. Yeah. I'll be ready for next year. But it was just fun. I feel like even staff enjoyed. We let them fill out too, and then everyone got a prize. We had over 200 guesses, and then we had one student that got 18 of the 23 correct.
Oh wow!
And it was fun. Like I said, one of the things I will learn is on the Google sheet form. I forgot, like I just put everyone's name, and some students were like, well, I didn't know who it was, and you couldn't submit the form until everything was complete.
Oh, okay.
So I told Carrie, I'm like, I think next year I might just have I don't know, just so they could get the form
Give them the
submitted.
option to submit. Yeah.
Because some of them were like, I just couldn't, I didn't know who it was, so I just didn't submit it. And I'm like, just submit it. It's just a fun guess.
So the kids would watch it in class,
Yes.
and then they'd fill out the form so they could guess to see who it was.
Yeah.
It's just a neat activity to have during Read Across America Week. We had dress up days every day. And then our Renaissance sponsor had sent us a video from another school and said, you guys should do this. And as soon as I showed Jenn, she's like, I got it. Which, again, just, I would reiterate the importance of having an assistant who is comfortable with technology or is comfortable learning how to use technology, because, Jenn focuses on certain aspects of things in the library, and that frees me up to do other things.
Right.
And I will say I knew nothing really of technology coming into the library 3 years ago. But a lot of it is just kind of hands-on learning. I'm sure you guys know too, just playing around with it. And like I said, I have 4 children, 4 kiddos. So when I was doing it, they were watching me, and I asked my older son, I'm like, can you help me? I'm trying to, and then what he showed me on Canva, which I did not realize, is you can fade in music or fade out. Right. So instead of having like that cut that I had, he kind of showed me that, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is so cool. But yeah, it was fun. It was I think I was probably super excited compared to everybody else. Everybody was excited, but I just was like, I can't wait to show the kids. Like, I'm so excited. I wish we were in the classroom to see their,
see the reactions and everything.
To see it. Because my favorite is everyone thought that first Mandalorian right there was our English teacher, Mr. Sorrell, who loves Star Wars.
Okay.
I think even Mr. Kate over here, Jimmy, has like Sorrel. And I was like, no, yes. I was like, look at the rings on her finger. That is not Mr. Sorrel. But it was just fun. It was just a lot of fun to have the different mask in the books that we had promoted. So,
and we have things linked in the show notes. And if anybody needs any help with Canva, please reach out, and you could reach out to your librarians, or you can reach out to one of your ILCs, and we'd be happy to help. All right. And then the last project that y'all wanted to highlight was your book trailers. So promoting with creative video presentation. How did that work?
So Jenn and I served on a committee for the state, for the South Carolina Association of School Librarians. And we read a lot of books for 2 years to help choose the top 20 books that would be nominees for the middle school level. And we just decided, hey, I think it would be neat to get kids involved in making book trailers so that we could show them. They could share with friends. It's just another way to get kids excited about the book. So we just kind of sat down and said, all right, how are we going to do this? And so we made a video. I think it's, 1 to 2 minutes, just introducing the challenge for students. The documents that we have linked are from last year. And we just said to kids, we want you to make a book trailer. We gave them some stipulations that it needed to be 1 to 2 minutes in length. It should be set to music. We told kids they could use Adobe or Canva, and then they had to share them with us and not have names on them. And then what we did is we created a Google Doc with all the submissions, and we shared it with a team of 5 people at our school. And had them all vote. And we had created a rubric that we also shared with the students in advance, so they knew how their book trailers would be judged, and had big prizes. But
it was really fun to see the students' creativity with the different books. I will say, like this one in particular, I feel like a lot of kids read this book, and I have not read it yet. But after watching the trailer, I was like, wow, I had no idea what this book was really about. This looks really cool. And I've made a promise to some 6th graders, by the time they reach 8th grade, I will read this series. There's basically 10 books, because it's 9.5 books. And they're pretty thick books. Right. But it just became so popular. Then this year we had a bunch of our 6th graders that have read it. But just seeing the trailer made me be like, oh, wow, this looks like something I could read. And that was kind of part of the purpose of it, is because students came in and got books that they saw. Because we shared this with the students.
Yes.
So that was another fun, creative way for them to share what they've been reading. And just to see how they were all so different, too. None of them were really the same. Right. which was really cool.
Jimmy, if you are watching a video, I mean, you can see we're actually sharing some of the videos that the kids created, some in Canva, some in Adobe, and the visuals are great. They did a good job.
They did. And I just want to say, kind of bringing Beanstack back into the conversation, having a project like the book trailers, and again, it wasn't required, it was a contest and for fun, and having a platform like Beanstack, it has, I feel like, changed the reading culture at our school. Whereas some students may have thought it's not cool to read, to be seen with a book, to talk about books. But when you do something like the book trailer contest, and then once we brought Beanstack in, it's acceptable now to read and to log a lot of time. And it's just so neat to see them talking about and sharing about these books.
That's awesome. And that it's probably affecting them in ways that we will never know, just as far as how much they read and how much they actually like to read, which may not have even happened until they were adults when they find a genre that they like.
Yes.
I know I was not a reader in school, but then now it's nonstop.
Yes.
We even have one of our teachers said that, I think she's in her late 40s and said for the first time in her life, she has finished an entire book series.
Yeah.
And she said it's because of Beanstack. She has found her love of reading again. And
That's
then,
awesome.
we have another teacher that sent us an email thanking us for doing Beanstack because she said she feels like reading is similar to meditation and it's just brought back some calm in her world.
Yep. And then if you're
love
watching, these are some of our comments of people that students and staff faculty send us messages
for
about
feedback.
what they
Nice.
love about it.
Yeah.
And I'm feeding off, like Carrie said, I feel like a lot of students, not that they were embarrassed to read, but like you said, in middle school, you're like, oh, we're reading. No. But with Beanstack, especially since our 8th grade team has now made it, that's where they do their reading log. So that's where the 8th grade students have to log their reading for. Same thing, like they already have to do it. And I always tell them before they made it a reading log, I would say to all the students when they come in the library, I'm like, you're already reading, just log. Like we want to give you prizes. Like we're offering up free stuff to you. So just log your minutes. And it's just been fun to see students that maybe in 6th grade were readers and they kind of fell off. And now they're finding that again because it's acceptable, I guess, because I have to read. It's for a grade, so I have to read. But then to see, like I said, we'll have students in the library in the morning and they'll have their Beanstack up and they're logging their reading. So
and
it's
they
really
get
great to
sucked
see.
in. And sometimes you don't know what genre you like.
Yes.
Because if you're not somebody that likes to read for fun, once you see those trailers or you see your friends reading something, well, if they like it, maybe I'll like it.
Yes.
And then once you get sucked in, then that's just
then you're
what
stuck
reading
in
does.
your 10 books later with the
Exactly.
same series.
Yeah. And we do a lot of readers advisory where, we have some students who are reluctant readers or they'll say, I don't like to read. And I always tell them, there's no such thing. You just haven't found the right book.
Exactly.
And so, we work really hard to try to help the students find what they enjoy. And I think what makes that a little bit easier for us is that we're both really big readers. And although we like to read our own content, we spend a large portion of our time reading the middle school books so that we can interact with the kids.
I love that. All right. Was there anything else you wanted to touch on that y'all use?
I think we're good.
You think you're good?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you guys for coming. We so appreciate it. And I know this will be really helpful for lots of librarians in the district. And so I wouldn't be surprised if they reach out to you.
Thank you
for
having
ideas.
us.
Yes. Thank you so much for having us.
Oh, of course. And then for listeners, just remember to check out the show notes for resources, links to the podcast video, and the Innovation Squadcast PD in Unified Talent if you need some recertification hours.